back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Francis Ngannou's coaches took a lot of heat after Francis Ngannou got dominated by Stipe Miocic in the main event of UFC 220, and now Francis Ngannou's coach is going off on critics like Joe Rogan and others, defending Francis Ngannou, and I've got to say he makes a lot of great points. And also, just on a sidebar now, I'm a natural contrarian. Whenever I see a lot of people ganging up on somebody, you know, I usually take that person's side. I picked Stipe Miocic to win the fight. I wasn't on the Francis Ngannou hype train. Loved him as a fighter, loved his knockouts, but I didn't think he was going to beat Stipe Miocic. Heck, I didn't even pick him versus Alistair Overeem. And now a lot of you people that have jumped off the bandwagon might see where I was coming from. But now everybody is ganging up on Francis Ngannou like they weren't just fucking cock riding him 3 days ago. And a lot of people, big media members as well, just fucking completely started to shit on Francis and his coaches. And that's making me kind of start to want to defend him as well. Because it's like, yo, how many of you guys were literally just, you know, cock riding? If Conor McGregor lost whenever Conor McGregor lost and you know was inefficient with his energy, did the Brendan Schaubs of the world and everybody say, what? You're this fucking champion and you ran out of cardio and you got submitted and you fucking, you know, you gave your back up and you started shooting for takedowns? Did they all jump off the train that quick, or is this just fucking unique as hell? This is the heavyweight division on top of that. So for everybody that's jumping off the fucking Francis Ngannou train, if he comes back in his next fight and knocks somebody out, they're all still going to be like, yeah, but that cardio, like, you know, it's just crazy to me. This is the heavyweight division. Francis Ngannou's still one of the top 5 fucking fighters in the division. He still knocked out Alistair Overeem in the same fashion. He still took out Andrei Arlovski and a lot of other guys on the way up. Beat Curtis Blades, a promising heavyweight prospect coming up. And Francis Ngannou still has a lot left in him. Everybody's not going to be able to hold Francis Ngannou down that long. And now let's also take into consideration, this is what Francis Ngannou's coach was saying as well. Everybody says he has absolutely no wrestling and no jiu-jitsu and no cardio. Well, then why didn't Francis, 80% of the fight was on the ground, Stipe Miocic holding him down? Why wasn't Stipe able to finish him? We all knew Francis Ngannou was out of cardio at the end of the second round. So at that point, why wasn't Stipe Miocic able to finish him? He's out of gas. You can't knock him out or submit him. So you're telling me Francis Ngannou has no fucking jiu-jitsu, but Stipe can't submit him? Well, so what are you saying? And people say, oh, he had 40 pounds on him. Hey, motherfuckers, Royce Gracie used to submit people with fucking 50 pounds on him. They had no jiu-jitsu skills, so Royce Gracie could still submit them. So if Francis had no jiu-jitsu, Stipe should have been able to submit him. So the way that everybody's turning on fucking Francis and making him look like dog shit and just, what the fuck, that's kind of got me a little heated. It's like, man, y'all were cock riding him and now everybody turned, you know, the whole world's turned on him and y'all can say what you want for whatever reasons. You also have to keep in mind, it ain't like Stipe Miocic was just, that was a super entertaining fight. How much of the fight was Stipe Miocic holding him against the cage? Already drained, just drained, just drained. A lot of the times a referee would stand up the fight and a lot of you say, yeah, but he had 40 pounds on him. It's the heavyweight division. That is not an excuse. There's a 60 pound, he could have had fucking, he could have had 40 pounds on him, he could have had 20, he could have had 60 pounds on him. Either way, you are in the heavyweight division. I'll take it back to Royce Gracie. That's where the UFC came from. If you are just clearly a better fighter, if somebody is a white belt in jiu-jitsu and you're a black belt, they can have 100 pounds on you and you are going to submit them. You always hear the, oh, what about Rafael Dos Anjos moving up to welterweight? Those people have 20 pounds on him. Some of those welterweights are way bigger than RDA, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Look at what Darren Till did to Donald Cowboy Cerrone. People say, oh yeah, but he's way bigger. It doesn't matter, man. This is a fucking skilled, you know, this is mixed martial arts. If Francis Ngannou had no jiu-jitsu or no wrestling, he would have been finished that fight. So they make good points in that. And also, Stipe Miocic, as I was saying, the fight wasn't just the most entertaining fight of all time. I mean, a lot of people gave Kamaru Usman slack for dominating Emil Meek against the cage, but he was actually doing significant damage. Stipe Miocic wasn't doing much damage to Francis Ngannou down there. He was more just draining him. And in a lot of fights, whether you've got a 40-pound weight advantage or not, the referee's going to stand you up and say, hey, we need more action, more action. They're going to stand up that fight and give somebody a chance to get knocked out, especially when you know that Francis Ngannou is drained. He was drained from the second round on, and he was just, the fight never got, but you know, you still were never able to get a finish. So I just really don't like the way that the entire world turned on Francis Ngannou. But I'm a natural contrarian, and I also don't like fucking bully shit. So like, that's just natural for me. You'll see that if a lot of people start ganging up on somebody, I might, you know, be like, okay, but slow down, pump the fucking brakes. I wasn't, you know, just keep in mind, I'm done with this video, but just keep in mind that I picked Stipe Miocic. You know, I wasn't one of the people that was on the Francis Ngannou hype train, but now I'm saying, yo, you guys, Francis Ngannou's taking, you know, a lot of fucking slack. And I was the one that said, what in the fucking Francis 5000 versus Stipe Usman did we just watch? Because Francis Ngannou gassed after the first round, and Stipe Miocic just held him down less entertaining than Kamaru Usman style. And people give Stipe Miocic the out. Oh, he had 40 pounds on him. Go tell that shit to Royce Gracie, man. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time fan know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.